This is how to use your VA loan here in San Diego. So stick around because I'm going to go through the steps, the process of how to use your VA loan and get you the most bang for your buck here in San Diego. And stick around to the very end because I'm going to give you a good bonus tip. That way you can maximize your benefit. Stay tuned. What's up? This is Emery Jensen of the Living and I'm moving to San Diego channel. If you're new to this channel, a little bit about me. I'm a veteran. I serve here at Coronado. And if you have not yet done so already, please like and subscribe to the video. Click that bell. That way you're the first to know when I put out new content every single week. Honestly, there are people all the time just like you reaching out to me through call, text, and email that are making a move or possibly making a move here to San Diego and want some help with the whole process. Again, I'm available days, nights, and weekends. Whenever you are, let me know. I got your back. I'm moving to San Diego, California. All right, let's get back to it. So the first step in kind of getting the whole VA loan process done is to determine your eligibility. You can do this a few ways. A lender can pull it for you, which is probably the easiest way to do it. But if you don't want to talk to a lender just yet, there's a few different routes you can go. Here's a little screenshot here that's kind of showing you what it requires typically for a certificate of eligibility to use the VA loan. I'll also drop a link in the description below that you can go on the website itself. It's va.gov. You can go on there yourself. The typical requirements for qualifying for a VA loan is going to be a 90-day time frame of unbroken service in any branch of the military. That includes Navy, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Marines as well. Almost forgot you guys, sorry. But yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy to check it out. I think during wartime and during the peacetime it might be a little bit different, but again, it's pretty easy to check yourself on va.gov or going through a lender, which is also super easy as well. So step 2 of using your VA loan is going to be to find a lender. A lender is someone that gives you basically the money to finance your property, where that might be. This could be a bank, a credit union. Also, what I recommend typically is a mortgage broker. But what the difference between a mortgage broker and banks and credit unions is they're a lot more personal. They make things a lot more laid out and planned for you than, in my experience at least, with Chase and banks like Navy Federal as well. Because those big institutions and banks, they tend to just toss your file around to different underwriters, to different people, and it can get kind of confusing. And they kind of take a longer time as well than typical mortgage broker would. And mortgage brokers have a lot more access to different loan layouts, different pricing options. They kind of choose the best fit for you and your situation. So keep that in mind. Now, if you are looking for someone that maybe I recommend working with, I do have a few lenders I can recommend to you. As I said, I'm a veteran myself. I served in the Navy, and I have a lot of connections in the real estate industry as well as the mortgage industry. So let me know if you want my recommended lender. I'll let you know. I'll put his information down the link in the description below that you can check out if you want. Reach out to him yourself, and then let him know that I sent you. He'll get you a great deal. Alrighty, so once you find your lender or maybe you find your bank, you're gonna fall into step number 3, which is to get pre-approved for your VA loan. This is a pretty simple process. I'm not the NLB for this kind of topic right here. The lenders and the banks are going to be your main go-to for this, but they're going to ask for typical things like your credit score, the running credit. They'll ask for your LES, your bank statements, and taxes, some information on that. And again, something you should know about the whole pre-approval process is it takes about a week depending on how fast you get this information into them, and it'll last for about 3 months. Let's go for 3 months. But check this out. If you're looking to move to, or maybe PCSing somewhere in the country, you want to have a home, and I'll make sure you're going to get that with no issues. Typically, I'll recommend that you get pre-approved or check your finances at least 6 months prior to you wanting to have those keys in hands. Now, unless you look at your finances, you're pretty diligent about what's going on, your credit and your debt to income ratio, you might not have to do that, but I highly recommend if you don't, because you don't want to come 1-2 months down the line when you're supposed to have keys in your hand and a place to live for you and your family to find out you can't get a loan because of some credit issue or some loan that you forgot about, you know? And what they can do, the lenders, they'll basically give you a breakdown of all your financials. If there is an issue, they'll give you a breakdown and steps to take to increase your credit score or increase your debt to income ratio to get you in the best position possible to get a home that you and your family are going to enjoy at your next duty station. So keep that in mind. You don't have to do that, but I highly recommend that. Alrighty, step number 4 to use your VA loan here in San Diego is going to be to obviously find that home. Now, to do this and get the best experience and get you the most access to all the homes on the market that you can, you're going to want to find an agent to work with. If you have a mentor working with already, that's great. If not, and you maybe want to work with me, reach out to me in the description below. All my contact information is down there. So there's a few ways you can find a home, right? Search online by yourself, use an agent like I just mentioned, or find your own home that someone's looking to sell. Typically, the easiest thing that you can do, if you don't have the time for it, is to just contact an agent like myself and have them send you an automatic list of homes that are coming on the market. Also, sometimes I have a list of off-market homes that you could possibly get financing for as well. That way you kind of avoid the competition of the San Diego market, because trust me, it can get pretty crazy sometimes. And maybe off-market home would get you the best deal as well. So really choose what you want to do, hone on that goal of yours, and do what's best for you and your family. So once you find that perfect home for you and the family, you want to make an offer, which brings us to step number 5. Now, there's a lot that goes into an offer, and here in San Diego, California, the purchase agreements are about 26 pages long. So there's a ton of information in there. If you want to learn more about that, I'll drop my information down below. You can reach me out there, and we can do a quick little 10-minute phone call just to go over what goes into an offer, because you're going to need to go over purchase price, deposit amount, and a lot of other stuff. So if you want to learn more about that, let me know. It's not necessary entirely, but I always try to educate my clients on the whole process. That way they're aware of what's going on. There's no big surprises at the very end or in the middle of the transaction. Alrighty, step 6 is going to be getting into escrow. So let's say your offer got accepted on the home that you guys, you and your family love. It's the perfect one, perfect fit. You're going to go into escrow. Now, what escrow is, it's a neutral third party that kind of handles all the funds, the financing. They make sure the documents are good to go, legally binding. There's no issues with the title from the seller side, and then also with funding from the buyer's side. And this is where you're going to be doing your due diligence as far as inspections for the home, from look at the roof, the plumbing, whatever you want. That's when you do this time frame. So when they do that due diligence. So typically within the first week of getting into escrow. Also in this process, you're going to be doing the appraisal process, which is basically the bank calling out someone to look at the home and make sure that what you're paying for the house, what was agreed upon between you and the seller, is what the home is worth. If not, there'll be some renegotiations that might happen. It's kind of a step that you can't really avoid with the VA loan, so keep that in mind too. This process typically takes about 21 days. It could be longer, it could possibly be shorter, depending on some different situations going on. But maybe sometimes the seller might request to stay back in the home for a month or so. And it's really between you, the agent, and the other agent to figure out the best situation for everyone involved. Alrighty, almost at the end here. So step number 7 is finalizing the loan and close of escrow. So once you've gone through all your due diligence, all your inspections, all your negotiations for repairs, and maybe seller credits, then you're going to come to the close of escrow and sign a whole packet of documents that's going to get you the keys for you and your new home. This is a pretty quick process to get this all done. The signing for the document, maybe like an hour or so, maybe less, half an hour. But once that's all done, you kind of figure out what your payment is going to be, what you might have to bring into the table for closing costs. Now, I know what you're thinking. Emery, the VA loan is 0% down. What are closing costs? So closing costs are not a down payment. There are some fees associated with the loan that your lender will disclose. They typically change with the purchase price of a house and depending on your taxes and stuff like that, as well as your insurance company that you're going to be using for your home insurance. But closing costs, like I said, there's closing costs that are coming with the escrow, title, and the loan documents. This can range between $8,000 to $15,000. But if you're with a good agent like myself, sometimes you can typically get some seller credits to pay for most of that, or even all of it. That way you can truly come in with 0 money down and 0 closing costs. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's definitely possible depending on what kind of house you're looking for and the condition of the market. If there's high demand or high supply, that can play a big role in what you're gonna come in with out of pocket at the end of the day. Alrighty, so a bonus tip about the whole VA loan and the benefit of using it is the VA funding fee. So if you're active duty, unfortunately this tip won't really apply to you, but it could. So VA funding fee is what kind of keeps the VA loan benefit running through the government. And what it is an additional fee on top of your VA loan purchase price. So let's say you got a home for $500,000, right? The VA loan funding fee is going to be about 2.1% now. If you know it, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below, let me know what it actually is. But it's about 2.1% that gets tacked onto your loan at the very back end of it. So you don't pay out of pocket up front, just add on to your loan. It's a very small amount too. It just helps other veterans, other members in the military to continue using the VA loan with the 0% down option, right? But check this out. So if you're out of the Navy already or the military in general, you have a 10% disability rating or more, that VA funding fee can get waived. Now, you're probably wondering, if you're going to be getting out soon and you're expecting to get some disability, if you can still use this benefit, and the answer is yes. So let's say you bought your home before you got out of the military and you want to get the refund for your VA funding fee. That is possible. All you have to do is make sure before you close escrow on the home that you have medical document your issues that are going to be going to your disability claim before you close escrow, right? Because if you do that, if you do it after close of escrow, you probably won't be able to get the refund. But if you do the medical record documenting before close of escrow, once you do get out, you can go to your lender and file a request to get your refund for your VA funding fee, which could be a pretty significant amount, like $20,000. So it's super helpful, and it could save you, I don't know, maybe 100, 200 bucks per month on your monthly payment. So keep that in mind. Alrighty, so that's a kind of a quick overview of using the VA loan, the steps in the process of using that amazing benefit. If you have not yet done so already, I highly recommend using the VA loan. There's a lot more that goes in the VA loan process and other benefits that you can use. You can use it for a single family home, condo, townhouse, new builds. You can use it for land, and you can buy land, right, and build a whole new property on that land with all the prices and costs being wrapped into the loan. You can also buy a fourplex if you want to, up to a fourplex. So that means a duplex, fiveplex, and a fourplex. Those can all qualify for you for a VA loan. So a lot more that goes into it. I don't want to get into it all in one video. But if you want to learn more, reach out to me through call, text, or email. I'm available days, nights, and weekends. Whenever you move to San Diego, I got your back. If you have not yet done so already, please like and subscribe and tap that bell. That way you're the first to know when I put out new videos every week here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.